we are really pleased with our floor plan over the other floor plan. We're really happy with what we got. Every time we see another person's unit, we're like, I really like our apartment.
One of the songs that we like to play is Alice's Restaurant Massacre. But it is 18 minutes and 14 seconds or something like that.
Jesus.
If you don't get it, if you're not into like the cult interest of this song playing, you're not interested in hearing it. It's not for you. Now I'm fucked up in the head because if you go to that FBC network page, when I said that all 9 of these are run by the same people just with different names, I was making a joke. Then I scroll down and I see FBC Hickory in North Carolina, and then I look at the Jonesboro, Arkansas one, and those are actually the same photo.
So by the time you hear this, listeners, I will have won the district, I don't eat my words, will have won the district level of the Toastmasters International Speech Contest.
Excellent.
I interview people I find interesting, and I will always find a beautiful woman interesting.
Whatever you imagine when you think of cruising might be both right and wrong, because cruising isn't one thing. I'm Bill from cruisehabit.com, and I'm a digital nomad working from ship and shore who loves sharing information to make sure people take the right cruises for them. Follow our adventures, enjoy tip videos, ship tours, and more in print and on our YouTube channel. Just visit cruisehabit.com/BSDN. We even host group cruises where you can cruise with us and get special treatment. Again, that's cruisehabit.com/BSDN or cruisehabit.com/bigsexy, whatever you'll remember.
What up, sexy world travelers? It's your boy, Big Sexy, here with a big thank you to our big, sexy world travelers. They're the folks who went over to bullwiththebutthole.com to subscribe to the podcast. I want to say a big shout out to Billy with cruisehabit.com, Lee Popsicle, Margaret White, Angel Quell, Bree, Chris Lowry, Galen Diggs, Jesus, Joshua Tarr, Michael McKenna, Sebastian Robbins, and Smitty Scoop. If you would like to have your name read out before the show, just become a big, sexy world traveler and subscribe to the podcast. Swing on over to bullwiththebutthole.com and join the fun. Safe travels. I hate when I miss that bull noise in that introduction. Remember, they got to add it in post.
Oh, yeah? What's going on, big sexy world travelers? It's Mentalist coming at you with another exciting episode of our World Travel Shenanigans here. This week, who knows what we're going to get into because it sounds like it's on TGI Fridays on the World Podcast here because, well, when they're near him, it's a construction site. It's Matt, and we're doing it for you. We're Matt, guys. It's Big Sexy. What's happening over there?
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whenever this is hitting your ear holes, I hope that it is good. There's some lagging issues on my computer, so we'll see how this goes. I did not make it to the co-working space, and now I'm regretting that decision as they have started. They were doing construction next door, and it had stopped for a minute, so I hope they were done. And then right before I started recording, they're back at it again. So listen, if you hear any knocking, that's what's happening. It's not in my apartment, it's next door. And let me tell you something, the next door apartment actually has a on-roof pool, right? It's a 2-level unit, more of a townhouse, as it were. Yeah, and interesting design. The floor plan in this building is so random. Like our unit and the unit not directly next to us, but across the way next to us, like our floor has 4 apartments on it. 2, okay, I'm imagining are these lofts, and then 2 are like ours, these very long 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom apartments. I have not had the chance to walk through the loft apartment. I did. They were doing construction, so the door was open. So me and my wife did a peek in, to see what the neighbors' houses look like and whatever. We are really pleased with our floor plan over the other floor plan. We're really happy with what we got. Every time we see another person's unit, we're like, I really like our apartment. I didn't know we had pools on the rooftop until New Year's Eve when I was at the apartment complex across the street that's higher than our building.
And you can see
Looking
down, and
down
you're
from
like,
their
"Hey,
rooftop, yeah, I was like, oh shit, we got pools.
where did that come from?"
Right. However, with moisture comes mold, and so I know what they're working on next door, which has me mildly concerned. Is I know that that apartment had mold because I saw it from the ground. I mean, there was mold on the ceiling.
Oof, oof.
So I went, oh, that's not great. I got frozen again. Oh, am I back? You
You
hear me?
are audibly back now.
Okay. Okay. So, what's the last thing you heard me say?
You were talking about the mold.
Okay, yeah. So we're getting the humidifiers to take care of the moisture in the apartment as well. So to those kind of issues, which apparently is very common here.
Interesting,
So
interesting.
that's been our day. And then I mentioned off, and I'll tell now, we were out of power for the last 12 hours or so this morning and last night. Like the power went out at 9:30. And we've had power outages before. They were usually resumed. The power came back within 30 to 40 minutes, the latest. This is the longest we have been without power, like for 12 full hours. So like it adjusted what we did for dinner because we have an electric stove and an electric oven, and we said fuck it, we ordered pizza. It's
I'm
just easy.
curious.
Yeah.
So I have, and I'm sure I've talked about this on the pod before, this big solar array in my backyard now, which by the time we hit May, I'll have had for a year. And I'm wondering, because, we live in a world with all of this technology that we don't know how it all actually works, even smart people, unless you're in that particular industry, right? Like, I know that I charge my phone by plugging it into the wall, but I don't know what the hell's happening. You know what I mean? Like, let's be real.
Right.
So, we have all these solar panels, and I'm wondering, because it's my understanding that this power that is being generated comes through my house, is used, but then also is being used while it's flowing back to the utility company. And then they're feeding us power if we need it, and it just offsets. Like we have a net billing. So if I generate, 5,000 kilowatt hours and I use 4,000, then I have a credit for the extra 1,000. If I generate 5,000 kilowatt hours and I use 5,500, then I'm paying for the extra 500 that I haven't generated, over whatever course of time. It doesn't matter. Like it banks it if I'm not using it, or I use a pull from that bank this time of year because it's winter and I'm using more power and I'm not generating as much. Um, but if I'm wondering if the power were to go out during the day, am I going at home? Am I going to be unaffected by that, assuming that my current usage is less than what I'm currently generating at the time? This is a question that I don't have an answer to.
Well, I'll provide an answer for you. Yes. You will not be affected by the power outage if you have a solar power panel. It will continue running. That's what it's for, right? Like it's designed to not
I
be
think
while you're
so, and I
connected to
know
the
that
grid.
what I do know is that if I get one of those battery walls or the battery backup,
Hmm.
I know the answer to that question because then everything pours into and pulls from the battery backup. But that's not the question that I'm asking because that's not today's situation.
Right.
My
You're
my
wondering
intent,
if there's a backup somewhere down the line. It's like, nah, we got you, guys. We got you and your. You hear me?
yeah,
Can you hear me? Okay.
mostly.
We're still having some minor lag issues. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
oh, yay, Mexico! And I knew that we were going to have an issue today because of the power outage.
yeah.
Like nothing seems to come back as strong afterwards.
Takes a little time to prime that
Yeah.
reprime
You
that
know what I'm
pump.
gonna do? Just right. Yeah. Listen, this is going to be we're gonna, I'm gonna cut all of this out and post what I'm saying now. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start closing shit on my Mac to hopefully help with any of the lag that is being caused by it being open. But I don't want to pause the recording because I think pausing recording replays the introduction, and I don't want to do that.
Oh yeah, we don't need to do that. When's the last time you went to a TGI Fridays?
TGI Fridays.
Yeah.
Wow. I don't know, 2021,
So
2022
it's
maybe?
been a while. And I'm assuming, obviously, being on the road, you probably don't have too many TGI Fridays in the world. That's a US thing.
That's a US thing, and there are not any and I have not been to TGI Fridays since leaving Las Vegas.
Was one at in Vegas the last time you went to one?
Yes, the
At
last
the
time I went
Orleans,
to
I
a
assume?
TGI Fridays wasn't at the Alone, the one on Sahara.
So standalone.
Before that one closed. Standalone, yeah.
So apparently, and I don't know if this is a Vegas thing, if this is a Boyd's thing, or if this is a TGI Fridays thing, but there were four in various Boyd's casinos. Obviously, the Orleans, Gold
Yes.
Coast had one, and then two of the other ones that were not, near the strip or downtown
Sa-
had them.
Sam's Town is the other boys casino, and said fourth casino that is in North, I think North Las Vegas.
Gone.
All the TGI Fridays are gone.
They abruptly closed those four like a week after I was last out there because there was one in the Gold Coast. That's all I know. I just saw it in an article, which I think was shared in some group that I'm associated with that does things at the Orleans, which could be the Scoop group, it could be a magician group, it could be a hypnosis group because everybody seems to do conventions at the Orleans.
Right.
So we were talking about last week how I went to this funeral and everything, and we stayed. And this was my wife and my daughter, who's 17. We didn't take my son; he's 13, and we kind of figured, he's never been to a funeral, and he's just not really at a point where we felt like this was the best thing to bring him to. My daughter could hang and handle it, no problem. Um, but for him, just a little different, not really the thing. So
Do
we
you
end
leave
up.
him at home? Do you leave your 13-year-old at home? Is he old enough to be by himself?
He was with my ex-wife.
Okay.
For it was, yeah. We ended up taking my daughter on a weekend that would have otherwise been my ex-wife's to have the kids. Um, so I'm from a small town. When I was growing up, only 3,000 people lived in the town limits. I have no idea what that number is now. I haven't tried to look or anything. No hotels there. And I wasn't gonna. My mother had just gotten done with a pretty nasty bout of the flu, and I'm like, we're not gonna stay there. We're not gonna impose. So we ended up getting a hotel in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, which is like 20 minutes from my hometown. So all of this stuff that so many people in the region would go on these field trips for and whatever, this was just a weekend day trip for me growing up. Like all that shit that is there from the historic stuff is like backyard crap for me, or at least it
Right.
was growing up. So we stay in this hotel that the closest thing to us is a TGI Fridays in like it's like part of an outlet mall or something like that. So we get into town. The viewing's not for a couple of hours. It's like 2 hours from home to get there. So not like a huge drive, but we had spent some time on the road and wanted to unwind and grab something to eat. So we went and got um, kind of sort of dinner late afternoon, odd time as you do when you're somewhere that you weren't planning on being. It kind of just throws you for a loop a little bit. So we had lunch there. We go to the viewing. all of that kind of stuff. We go back, and it's kind of like, hey, we want to get some drinks. Of course, where do we go? Back to that damn TGI Fridays. At this point, my wife's completely sick of it, so we're always offering now to take her to TGI Fridays. Hey, you want to get brunch at TGI Fridays? Is just because it's gotten to the point of commitment at this point in time. So I came up with a game of chance, a little gambling game, while at TGI Fridays the second time. Do you ever play music through
Right.
jukeboxes? Is that something you still do these days?
I haven't in ages, but if I go someplace with a jukebox, I will play music in the jukebox.
Okay. So with the jukebox, are you using more old school, put money into it, select songs, walk away? Or have you used any of the ones that are now you buy all your credits using an app and generally you have to be within a certain range to play the music there?
Both.
Both.
Yeah, I've used the newfangled ones, but usually, if I'm at a place that has a jukebox, then it is that old fashioned.
Right, right. So they've got one of the this TGI Fridays had one of the newer fangled ones with the app and everything, which isn't really relevant to the purpose of the game here. But one of the things that I will always do, not always at the beginning, not sometimes it's at the end and then I'm leaving. I used to live within range of a dive bar where I could play songs on that dive bar's jukebox while at home. So
You,
I was close
yeah, you
enough.
told this.
Yeah.
Right.
So one of the songs that I will often play, and I'm not alone in this, it's kind of a cult thing, and it's very, very much an exercise in commitment as well. But I have friends that are in on this game and everything like that, where one of the songs that we like to play is Alice's Restaurant Massacre. And not just on Thanksgiving, because it's traditionally thought of as a Thanksgiving type of song, but
Right.
it is 18 minutes and 14 seconds or something
Oh,
like that.
Jesus, that's
And
too
it's
long.
not particularly, if you don't get it, if you're not into like the cult interest of this song playing, you're not interested in hearing it. It's not for
Right.
you. Trust me,
Right.
it's not for you. Um, and a lot of times we'll play it, and with these newer electronic ones, the ones that are driven by the app, somebody at the bar, somebody at the establishment will have a remote that'll allow them to skip or cancel a song and move to the next one in the queue. So I would say that more than half the time I play this song, it gets skipped midway through. So I've
Right.
devised a game of chance. It's called Alice's Restaurant Roulette. I think it works best with a group of 5 or more. You wouldn't want to go over 18 people. Not that you're necessarily going to have a group that size of which everybody's going to get involved in a game of this, but collectively the group decides that we're playing music on the jukebox. And within the set, we're going to throw Alice's Restaurant Massacre in. So we know within the next 5, 10, half hour, something like that, we're going to play Alice's Restaurant Massacre. It's an
Right.
18-minute song. So we figure out how much money we all want to bet. $5, $20, $100, whatever. Everybody throws that amount of money in and then picks a number between 1 and 18. The number that you pick represents the minute range in which you think they're going to kick that song. So if you're picking 18, you're betting that it's going to get to the end.
Right.
So if you bet 15, then that means we're going to get 15, somewhere between 15 and 16 minutes. If
Right.
you
Before somebody kills that song quickly because they already know.
So winner takes all. So if there's 5 of us in there and we've all got various numbers and we've all thrown $20 in, the winner's getting $100 for it. Alice's Restaurant Roulette. That's my new game of chance. We didn't play that, but it was kind of a light bulb when the song got cut off, about 6, 8, 10. I wasn't paying attention because I was just like, oh, they fucking killed my song. And then the light bulb moment, because it's not the first time. It wasn't like some big shock. I didn't get up and raise a stink because, well, I'm the one that played the song that nobody wants to hear. So right. I kind of expect it to happen at some point in time. And yeah, so that's that. I kind of had that light bulb moment of, next time when I've got 5 or more people, because I think you need a healthy bunch of people in there to juice the pot amongst other things, but to have there actually being, something to go for. That way people aren't necessarily making bets right on top of each other. So yeah, that's my new fun game of chance, which I teased last week, but we didn't get back around to talking about.
That is. Have you played it yet?
I haven't played the game. I just, with that song getting cut off, I came up with the idea. So now I'm going to introduce it to some of the people that I also know play that. And this is going to be, here it is, because you're hearing this right now. I've told you that you might want to listen to this episode of this podcast so that you can learn about this new game that you're going to like. And here you are. So keep listening to the rest of the podcast, Liz, and whoever else, and Tim, and whoever the hell else I introduced to this by me not explaining the game to you, but telling you to come listen to episode 127 and learn about this game of chance.
And welcome. If you're coming here, you've noticed that I have frozen my video. If you look on the video, I am currently frozen, but I'm not mad at the position I'm frozen in, so I'm leaving it up instead of dudes in my image. I look like I'm intently listening to the conversation, and now I got to see it. They don't really have those here in Mexico, jukeboxes. Let alone jukebox apps. So I don't know if I can play here, but I do go back to the U.S. occasionally.
I mean, you could play it on a traditional jukebox, but the only difference is that I don't know in the traditional jukebox if they all have the control with a remote to kill a song.
Not with the remote. Usually, if you kill a song, you have to walk up to the jukebox and do it directly.
Yeah.
Usually, you can't kill the song. It just plays it. It plays your song next. Right? It doesn't have the stop this song and play this new song.
Yeah. I mean, you can, one of the things that a lot of them will let you do is pay extra credits to jump your song in line. It's not going to cut off the song that's currently playing,
right?
But it'll make your song next afterwards.
Exactly. Yes, in that sense, right? You can jump the line and pay extra, but nothing. Then you would additional something or other that says play my song now. You play it now.
I put Cancun, Mexico into this app, and it looks like Key West, Florida are the closest.
I think that's a U.S. thing.
Yeah. Now I want to see if I can go play Alice's Restaurant Massacre at some bar in Key West.
Oh wow! It'll show you the places that are available, and you can control it. If you can control a bar in Key West from where you are, it's a worldwide problem.
Yeah,
I mean, that's a U.S. problem. That's a thing. Oh, yeah. You wouldn't even know where it's coming from.
Yeah, exactly. So it was funny, and again, I know this is a repeat of a story that I'm sure I've told before. But it was so weird because we would often go get tuned up at this house that I was living in that was very close to the dive bar. then we would queue up a bunch of music at the dive bar before we would order an Uber, even though it was right around the corner because it wasn't quite close enough that we would want that we would walk. But we were already, well pre-gamed, so we weren't going to drive. We were responsible.
Right.
We would order the Uber, and as soon as the Uber was on its way, then we would start queuing up music. The Uber would pick us up, drop us off. Our music would be there waiting for us, and some of it playing. And it was so weird that the owner of this place that was almost always there didn't quite put together the correlation of this song coming on and then this group of people showing up, or this song really only plays here when these people are here, or something along those. You know what I mean? Like we were anchored to that song. There was no, how do you not do that math? But
I did not recognize it. Every time I see these people, this fucking song comes on.
I've driven by that place within the past year. It is now a church for bikers.
Wow.
It's like a motorcycle church now. It's not a bar anymore.
Did they keep the jukebox?
I have no idea. I haven't been inside. I didn't go inside.
That would be hilarious. That would be hilarious. The jukebox for the church, the biker church jukebox.
Well, I mean, I'd be shocked if the whole bar was there, because it was one of those like island bars, like in the middle. So you'd sit almost horseshoe style around it. And then the bartender would walk in the middle, and he or she would have bar on either side and then in front, like a U-shaped sort of thing with them in the middle. I mean, if you're going to do something like a church in there, that thing's got to go.
So wait, so it's a biker church. So that means you see the cross. That lets you know that it's a church. And then there's a ton of Harleys in front of it. So that's how you know it's a biker church.
There was some signage up that told me that it was, a biker church. And then I looked it up because there was a sign. And sure enough, let me see if I can find this place online. Is it Freedom Biker Church?
Do they say like bikerchurch.com or? It's
Freedom Biker Church, DE like Delaware.com.
Freedom Biker. So it's like a church for bikers. Like,
yeah, I'm not just talking shit on the clientele. It's actually a biker church.
No. I believe you were honest and upfront with the fact that it's a biker church. My just question is the I have no idea what I'm trying to say. The advertisement, the marketing, the conception of, right? Like, we are God-fearing people who also love Harleys. We need our own church because we're not welcome in other churches.
So apparently there are 9 of these. And
in Delaware?
No.
Oh, around the U.S.
Pennsylvania, Arkansas, North Carolina, another one in North Carolina, South Carolina, another one in North Carolina, the Delaware one more each, North and South Carolina. And if you were to go to this Freedom Biker Church, DE, like Delaware.com, and then click on the little tab over that says FBC Network, it'll show you all of these and a photo of who runs them. They're all run by the same person.
Oh, so one dude.
No, it's different. They have different names. But if you look at them, it's all the same people.
Oh, I see.
They all look identical to each other. Like,
I mean, and I've seen, God-fearing bikers.
All right, so I gotta go to this site. If
I'm on the website. I just saw the Why a Biker Church, which is an answer to my question, like, why a biker church?
Now I'm fucked up in the head, because if you go to that FBC Network page, when I said that all 9 of these are run by the same people just with different names, I was making a joke. Then I scroll down and I see FBC Hickory in North Carolina, run by Phil and Lisa Goins. And then I look at the Jonesboro, Arkansas one, which are run by Todd and Marty Nelson. And those are actually the same photo. It's not just me being like, there's a certain type of person that looks the same as the other type of person. No, those are actually those two photos of the same fucking photo.
Wait a second. And I'm on Phil and I see Phil and Lisa Goins.
So
What
down
the hell?
yeah. So now
And
as I'm looking at these, I'm
they
like,
all look like the same. Well, I mean,
they all look like the same couple in different poses with different hats or different do-rags. They're all just the same people over and over and over again.
close to it. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, the guy looks the same in almost all of them.
Yes. There's only one that looks slightly different, and that is Philip Morris, probably not the cigarette guy.
Right.
He looks a little younger. But all the other guys are like the same damn dude. And if
I
you're
did have to
not
double check to see that if Gary and Deborah, that Deborah looked a bit like Gary.
and look, spoiler alert, if you're not going to go, let's say you're driving, so you're not going to go to this website, you're not going to look this up. That biker dude that you're envisioning, that's the guy that we're talking about. That's the same guy.
It's the same guy.
Yeah.
The multicolored beard, the long hair, or do-rag, white, rosy. I mean, they're all white. Everybody's white.
Yeah, that guy.
There's no color here. Yeah, it's that guy. That guy in different outfits. Yeah. So this is all found in the same area that's just spread out. This is a certain this is not necessarily the country. This is just a region of the country.
No, but it stretches all the way into the Carolinas and out to Arkansas. So it's a spread.
Well, the Carolinas are East Coast.
Yeah, but I don't consider that the same region as me. I'm in the Mid-Atlantic.
No. But when I say region, I mean all of the East Coast.
Okay.
Right. You're in the Northeast, but I mean, I think the furthest west they go is Arkansas.
Yeah.
Is Arkansas. Yeah, but otherwise, and Arkansas might be fake because it's the same people with different names. Yeah,
it's true. It's true.
Freedom Biker. Wow. Hold on. So that's, you know what? I don't want to dive into much. We're giving them way too much publicity.
Yeah,
it is a big group of.
They took my dive bar, but that's okay.
Yeah,
I don't live near there anyway, so I wouldn't be frequenting that place too much. It's
how cute! They call it a Wednesday refuel. You have the Sunday worship rally and a Wednesday refuel. Stop it. Okay, that's enough for y'all. I don't want my algorithm trying to show me biker shit.
Well, you're in now.
I'm in now. Yeah. We'll see.
Something makes me think, though, that this website might not have the proper cookies to have it follow you around and get into your algorithm.
Maybe not. But if all of a sudden I start showing, getting advertisements for bandanas and wallet chains,
it's on me. Well, you are talking about it now, so
I am indeed. That's fine. Yeah, but this is today's Thursday. You know, I tell you something. The trip back to the U.S. fucked my time schedule up. I no longer. I have to really work at remembering what day of the week it is, even though I do shit specifically on certain days of the week.
Yeah.
Right. Like last night.
I mean, the past, I would say, month and a half-ish, for a variety of reasons, some of which being our travel, some of which just being whatever, we have been inconsistent on the day that we record. We have been, we've been, I mean, it's all been within the, okay, if it's not Thursday, then it's Monday sort of format. But
except for the one time it was Tuesday.
Except for the one time it was, yeah. So we've been, I'm not going to backtrack on it. I'm going to backtrack on my backtracking. We've been inconsistent.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, I'm not gonna be going to that place. It's not my my
Not
type
your
of
forte,
place.
not your cup of tea. Yeah, there aren't. There are bikers here. There are bikers there. But did I ever tell the story of the biker uh, ride that I ran into at the club zone here in Mexico?
I don't believe so. No.
Yeah, so I was at karaoke, Dirty Martini, which is a bar here, and afterwards, me and a friend, shout out to Majida, we're walking back, and we're passing by what I call the loud zone here in Playa del Carmen. It's
Okay.
uh, it's a main street where on the four corners are big, loud dance clubs,
Okay.
each playing their own music. And the noise pollution is insane. If you stay there too long, you will eventually go deaf. And we're walking and we're looking at different clubs and we're walking over and we're checking it out each one and we walk over and then these bikers come like a long caravan of bikers and cars and more bikers and scooters. This is this really long caravan. And here's what I couldn't figure out. The street we were on is Primavera.
Okay.
And the next street was like the beach, right? And I couldn't go, where are all these people coming from? There had to have been a street right along the beach that I wasn't able to see, but it looked like this large caravan was coming directly from the beach. And it was like, it felt very clown carish, right? Like it just kept going. Like there was just so many bikers and scooters and people in cars in this one long caravan. And my thought was, is this just your Friday night? Everybody gets in a vehicle and then just drives
Yeah, that's a thing that people do.
for hours. Like, do you have a destination? Is it did y'all meet up someplace, which I'm assuming you did, and then
No,
everybody
these
got in
things.
their
So
vehicles?
this is all right. When you were growing up, because obviously this isn't as much of the thing now. Did you ever just meet up with a bunch of friends at the mall and walk around?
Yes. Yeah, that was the thing.
And this was at a time in which we didn't have cell phones. Some of us had beepers, right?
Right.
And there wasn't the internet like it is today. So you just knew that this was a thing that we do. Kind of like what you were just talking about, where you have certain things that you do on certain days. So you know, hey, Thursday, when I get done with my shit, I'm going to the mall or whatever day it is, right?
Putting on my helmet and I'm meeting everybody at the beach on 40, and then we're gonna hop in our rides and we're gonna roll.
Right. Yeah. And so it ends up being, and obviously it's going to be more coordinated now because, like what we do with the scheduling of the podcast, it's like, hey, can we do early on Thursday? Yes. How early? Noon. Okay, cool. You sent me a message this morning. Still good for noon? Yes. So obviously we've got a different level of communication, as does everybody else these days, than when we were, kids just meeting up at the mall. You just went there because you knew that that's what we do on whatever day, you know? So that's what they're hey, we're gonna go drive laps, and that's what they do. They drive laps. They set up. They look at each other's cars. They talk about whatever the hell they talk about.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
the Fast and the Furious without the crimes.
Without the crimes or the speed.
Yeah,
It's slow and whatever the opposite of furious is.
yeah.
Calm. Slow and cruising. And I get cruising. I'm familiar with cruising. You know.
Hey, if you want to get familiar with cruising, go visit our friends at cruisehabit.com.
Yeah, right over there, cruisehabit.com/BSDN or cruisehabit.com/bigsexy. And
Cruisehabit.com, bitches.
all right, don't
Different,
have
different kind of cruising, but still cruising.
how do we not have a banner for that? Oh, what the hell? Okay, I got me. Well, I do that. Anyhow, So by the time you hear this, listeners, I will have won the district. I hope I don't eat my words. Will have won the district level of the Toastmasters International Speech Contest,
Excellent.
and I don't know when the next contest will be. I'm still focusing on this upcoming contest. The contest is Saturday, and I'll be rehearsing the speech. I've been rehearsing the speech all week. I get to do it again in public today at the Playa del Carmen Changemakers networking event that I've been a big part of. They're the ones who hosted the singles mixer that I did this past Saturday.
Yeah.
And and they're having a pitch idea, and I get to rehearse my contest speech in front of folks, which is great. And then I got an actual Toastmasters meeting where my role, I no longer have a role, which actually I'm very happy for. I said it in the worst way possible last night. Last night I was teaching improv, and my friend Graham and bandmate, Easy Peasy bandmate, was there, and he's also in Toastmasters. And I said, "Oh man, I heard great news. Ina's sick." No, wait a minute. Hold on. Let me not say that the great part of that sentence is that Ina is sick. The great part is that she's not coming to Toastmasters, and I was her speech evaluator. And now that she's not coming to Toastmasters, I don't have a role. And since I don't have a role, I get to participate in the table topics, which is the impromptu speaking portion of the meeting.
Yeah.
Which is one of my favorite parts of the meeting. But since I've been gunning through to get these, to boost up my level and get to level 3 quickly, which I have, success, yay. I haven't been able to participate. But tonight is a special night. We got a guest Toastmaster coming in from LA, and she wants to run this blindfolded table topics, which I'm interested in. So I get to do these improvised speeches blindfolded tonight. And I wasn't going to be able to do it. I was kind of bummed I wasn't going to be able to do it. And I hope I didn't, put into the universe to get Ina sick. And if I did, Ina, I'm sorry about that. But I really want to participate in the table topics tonight. So that'll be fun tonight. I'll let you guys know how that goes and what that experience will be like. And then I got the contest on Saturday, which my speech of the power of being silly. And if you want to see the speech, you don't know what speech you're talking about, Big Sexy, you can swing on over to bullwiththebutthole.com and check out the speech is up on the website on the Patreon. If you want to just hear it, there is a bonus episode, I think, called "The Power of Being Silly" on Spotify. You can just upload that now. Oh, speaking of the website and the Patreon and all that good stuff, a little bit behind the curtain. So this is episode 127, and I have not talked to Judge Mentalist about this whatsoever. So he's hearing all of this.
I'm shocked.
Same
My pearls.
time as I have. This is episode 127. When we hit episode 150, did you know I like to do things on milestone episodes? So when we hit episode 150, all the bonus episodes before episode 100, every bonus episode that is currently only available to Patreon will be up on our YouTube. I'm going to go into our YouTube and change all of them from unlisted to public. So you will have access to all the bonus episodes and classic episodes, like our episode with Nas and our episode with Jane and our episode with LaBelle and episode with Stephanie. And I think Stephanie was before 100. She may have been after, but I think she was after. Yeah, none of the U.S. episodes will be up yet because episode 100 was our dear friend Sarah Lowe.
Yes.
Who was just guest host on Penn Sunday School.
Oh, yeah?
She's a really good podcaster. Sarah Lowe is just amazing at everything she does. Shout out to Sarah fucking Lowe. She's awesome. But everything, all the bonus episodes prior to that will be up on our YouTube, and the video for episode 100 will be up on our YouTube channel. So that's coming at episode 150. And again, that we got some time before that happens. I mean, we got 23 episodes, so 23 weeks from now. So you got a while to wait for it.
That's
But
like half a year.
that means you got time to go over to YouTube and sign up for our YouTube channel. By the way, wait, hold on. Do we have? Yep. I did that in backwards order. Big Sexy Digital Nomad YouTube channel has just reached 100 followers. Thank you. Yeah, we finally did it. We finally broke 100. YouTube sent me a notice the other day. And so thank you all. Thank to our YouTube followers for subscribing to our YouTube channel. If you are listening to this, you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, swing on over to YouTube/Big Sexy Digital Nomad and subscribe to the channel.
How much does that cost?
How much to reach the 100 subscribers
subscribe to the YouTube channel?
Oh, that's free.
Oh, well, then
all it costs is time. It's just a click of the button. Yeah, so thank you. I've also been really talking up the YouTube channel anytime I go out. So thank you to all the new listeners and followers over on YouTube. We appreciate you very much. I don't know what that means in terms of YouTube functionality. I know it means something. I think there's something that does change when you reach 100 followers. The next goal, I think, is 1,000 followers, which, all we got to do is if every person who is currently following our YouTube channel gets 10 other people to subscribe to the YouTube channel, we'll hit that in no time.
Here's the thing. This is what I understand. I could be wrong about this because my hypnosis channel is at like 920, so I haven't hit it yet, but I'm close. Every day, closer, it seems. But once you hit 1,000, I believe that is where you can start to monetize your content. And what does that mean? Nothing. Nothing different. Because if you're on YouTube, they're showing ads at whatever the algorithm chooses to dump them in, pre-roll, sometimes mid-roll for longer videos, especially for like podcast episodes or whatnot. The difference between us crossing the threshold of being able to monetize and not is whether or not YouTube gives us a taste of the ad revenue. The ads will be exactly the same. So it's not like, oh, we can monetize, now let's pump this feed full of ads. No, those ads are there. If you're watching this on YouTube, you're seeing ads.
You might get an ad, yeah.
The question is, can we get this thing up to 1,000 followers so that we can get a little jingle in our pocket when those ads that are already running run? And it's still, at our volume, it's not real money, but it's better than nothing.
Yeah,
because it does not.
Any dollars are better than no dollars.
Exactly. It doesn't look like, and again, I don't have access to all of the stats anymore. I probably do. I just haven't done the work to go find them. But right. YouTube is clearly not our most popular viewing point on these, which is fine. I don't think that was ever the plan. We added that in afterwards. But man, you've interviewed some hotties. People better get over there and check this out.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it now because any of the bonus episodes that I have listened to, I've only listened to. I haven't really watched. So, yeah.
That's the thing, listeners. Is I interview people I find interesting, and I will always find a beautiful woman interesting. So every time I get a chance, I will interview a beautiful woman because I get to know them better and get to understand them as a person and hear their story, and also I get to spend an hour with this person in this person's presence. and then I get to spend 2 hours editing this person's video.
You know the type of person or people that would be great to spend somewhere between an hour and 2 hours in their presence?
Hmm.
The Jokers of Magic. Matt Donnelly, Nick
Oh,
DeFott, Eric Diddleman,
we
ElktonMagic.com.
I think we should try to get Matt Donnelly as a guest on the show.
Okay.
Yeah, and we're coming up on. We'll try to get him on 1:30 because 1:30 is 3 weeks. And
Okay.
when are the Jokers doing their thing?
That's March 15th,
So-
approximately 3 weeks from now.
So we need to get them on sooner than that, so he can promote the show to our small following.
All right.
And to have him as a guest on the show would be nice because I like Matt Donnelly. He's a good friend of yours, a good friend of ours, good friend of mine, friend of the podcast, Matt Donnelly. Well, I don't have as a friend of the podcast, but he's a friend of us, and so they're by extension a friend of the podcast. But we should definitely have him on. We should definitely have Paul Madeley on.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about the different guests we need to have just on the regular episodes, not bonus episodes, and we should reach out to them and set them up. I recommend you reach out to Matt Donnelly.
Okay.
Because he is in your graces right now, or you're in his graces right now, and so he might easier do you a favor than see it as a point of work coming from me. And I can reach out to Paul Madeley.
He'd be good either way, but yeah.
Agreed. Yeah, he'd be just great to have on as a guest. It'd be interesting to have them both on as a guest at the same time.
That would be.
That would be interesting. And I don't think they've done that.
I mean, we've done that. We've both been in the churn for an episode.
Right. I don't think they've guested on a podcast simultaneously. I imagine it might be a scheduling nightmare, but they're able to make ICS work twice.
But Matt's but I do know that Matt's done with the cruise ship for right now.
Right.
So that makes life a little easier for sure.
A little, but he's gearing up for the Jokers tour.
Yeah.
But
that's not that's like a 2-week jaunt. That's not like which I guess all the cruise ship stuff was 2 weeks too. So
yeah, but with the cruise ship stuff, he was also not home.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So even though it was 2 weeks, he was like 2 weeks gone. Right. Well, hopefully we'll get them as guests. We'll stay tuned, listeners. We'll reach out to Matt and Paul, see if we can get them on either together or individually, whatever works. I would love to say we get all three, but I don't think Jacob has any interest whatsoever in being a guest on any other podcast.
I would think that is an accurate statement. It's at least accurate to my perception.
Right. And for those listeners who are like, why the guys talk about ICS so much? If we get them on, you'll understand. You'll understand why we talk about these guys. I mean, they are the reason we have a podcast. So there are podfathers, and we're happy to chat about them. Yeah, we got a busy week coming up. Big Sexy Digital Nomad got some big things in the pipe works, in the pipeline. Not the pipe works, the pipeline. I think is the way you say that phrase accurately. And I keep hoping that Mexico fix their internet issues. I think I realized what happened with my camera when the camera freezes is that whatever happens freezes, right? Yeah. And then in order to reset it, I'd have to refresh the page. And refreshing the page, I think, would kick back my camera because my camera's not even on. Like the green dot that shows me my camera's lit is not even on right now. That's not something I can fix from within the page itself and the settings. I'd have to reset and refresh, and I'm just not doing all that. So
yeah, that sounds like a lot of work.
Sounds too much work, and I don't want to do it, so I'm not going to worry about it. So listeners, I hope you enjoyed viewers rather. Listeners, I know you've just been enjoying the dulcet sounds of my lovely voice. And viewers have been going, oh, Big Sexy's stuck. And then he never fixed how stuck he was. I did occasionally bounce between. I tried to say the word bounce and dance together, and I came at bance. I did bance between my cartoon image with the pulsating vocal notification and the frozen picture, which I wish if it ever froze would also pulsate. I think that would be really interesting as well. Would probably take too much
Yeah.
bandwidth to do. But yeah, any shows you got coming up you need to promote there, Judge?
That I need to promote? No, everything that I've got on my calendar for right now is all part of like a banquet or a gala for a nonprofit. Anything else that I'm still waiting to reschedule that one show that had to get canceled because of the 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 flu outbreak.
Right.
Um,
And as we're talking about the Joker's tour, you can get tickets over at uptonmagic.com when they make their way to Upton, Maryland. If you're in the area, be sure to check them out there. If you're not in the area, but you want to sponsor somebody in the area to go, get tickets there. And then talk to Judge. Next month, we got Nilla's birthday cruise coming up. We get to be on a ship. I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be a lot of fun out on the sea with Nilla, myself, my mom, who's the reason why we're taking this cruise, and some of Nilla's friends. And I could say them on air because Nilla doesn't listen to this podcast, so she doesn't know, but she doesn't know anything. Nilla's birthday request every year is to not make any plans or any decisions. She just wants to have fun experiences and do whatever. So occasionally she will have to say, I will have to go to her and be like, okay, baby, I need you to buy these. I need you to pay for these. Like, we need you to buy the plane tickets to fly from here to Orlando. So she's doing that part of it. She knows she's doing a cruise because we had to take care of that. But like what's happening on the cruise, she has no idea. I'm currently looking up excursions and possibilities to do things on the cruise. Although we very much tend to like wing it. Excursions tend to be way expensive on cruise ships, and it's while it's a great experience, sometimes we have to do shit on a budget. And instead, I just look up fun things to do on those islands that we're stopping, those ports that we're stopping, and plan those out and look up like what transportation looks like, what kind of money do I need to have, how do I avoid getting ripped off, all those type of things,
which are real issues more and more these days.
Real issues. You got to pay attention to that, especially with cruise ship ports. It's ridiculous. And yeah, so if you want to go, there's still, I'm sure, cabins available. Just swing on over to gowithlisa.com/bigsexy. Our friends over there at gowithlisa.com, Lisa and Chris Lowry, are helping take care of the bookings for that.
And they can help with all sorts of stuff. Like
very, very talented. Yeah, like airfare.
Yeah, all of it. Even if you just want to travel somewhere that has nothing to do with us, and it's like, you know what? There are so many different providers for so many different things. Let me just tell these folks what I want, or a ballpark idea of what I want, and let them give me some ideas, and then tweak those ideas from there. Or one of my favorite things to do, like I used to go the first, second weekend of January when it was super cold here. I would go to an all-inclusive in the Caribbean. And my game plan for this, because you always get better benefit working with a travel agent. All right. And I'm not going to sit here and say, don't work with Chris and Lisa. Maybe you've got somebody of your own, so work with them or whatever. But here's what I do. I go to cheapocaribbean.com. I search around. I find a deal that I think I'd be satisfied with. Then I copy the itinerary. I send it to Chris and Lisa, and they either get me that exact same itinerary and setup for less. It's not like $1,000 less, but it's less. It might chip into the flight cost, or they get me the exact same price, but an upgraded room or some extra benefits or perks or credits at the spa or something like that. But more often than not, I'm getting a cheaper price and a better offer at a place that I've already found.
That's the amazing thing. Like, I definitely recommend doing that. Even if you're not traveling, on the cruise, like say, like Judge was saying, go with Lisa.com they're friends of the podcast, so we like to pump them out and promote them as well. If you are into cruising and you do like cruising and you really want to do some more cruising, want to understand what cruising is like, swing on over to our sponsor at cruisehabit.com/BSDN. They have a long list of different cruise lines, what to expect. They do vlogs and blogs. They often put together group cruises. If you're thinking about doing a cruise but you don't know what to do, join them on a group cruise. They are fun. They are well versed. We've worked together quite a bit. We met them a while ago now. It's been almost 3 years.
And one of these days, we're going to get the stars to align that I'm going to do a hypnosis show as part of one of their group cruises. We just haven't been able to make the scheduling and everything work yet, but it'll happen.
Yeah, what I'm hopeful for again is as this community grows and we develop and get more followers and listeners and subscribers, then we do a group cruise, but it's a big sexy digital nomad group cruise sponsored through cruisehabit.com, and all the things come into one place, right? And we're all working together. This big travel and entertainment community grows and comes together and does this beautiful experience and spreads our love throughout whatever ports we decide to hit. But we thank y'all for tuning in. We appreciate y'all. Don't forget to get your merch, your big sexy. Go to
do all the things.
Do all the things, and we appreciate you all so very much. And in the meantime,
safe travels.
Safe travels.